Hello everybody. I hope you're doing well and you're enjoying your summer so far. Being a student, of course, I get it, but I hope you're finding the time to relax and also enjoy the outdoors and enjoy your summertime as well at the same time. All right, so in my next video here, I'm going to show you all about Quick Select. And once you figure out this tool, you're going to say, Jamie, why have you not told us about this from day one? Or why hasn't my AutoCAD teacher told us about this from day one? Strictly because you wouldn't have really found it useful when you were really new to AutoCAD. You find it useful when you are more experienced with AutoCAD. So, you guys have been using AutoCAD for a couple of weeks now, or maybe a couple of months or a few months, depending on your experience level or your stages in life or your career. So anyway, this is my version of how to use Quick Select. I use it many times every day. It is an absolute fabulous tool, and this can be used by both Windows and Mac users out there. Okay, so this is both a PC and an Apple thing. Okay, so I will explain the differences about those in a minute. But first, what is Quick Select? All right, Quick Select is a way that you can quickly select objects. Now that's all fine and dandy, but what does it do? So instead of us going, all right, well, I got to select all my dimensions. So I'm going to draw a green box here. I'm going to draw a green box here. You're bored, right? It takes way too long. Instead of doing something like that, you can use Quick Select, where I can select, let's say, my dimensions all at once with using this function, or all of my hatching all at once. Or let's talk about layers. I can differentiate and quickly select a certain layer all at once. So let's say my deck layer or my walls layer or my fixtures layer, I can select all of that. So this helps you freeze and thaw quickly. This helps you copy things quickly, mirror things, any modifying quickly. You can use it for text, hatching, objects, blocks, dimensions. Gosh, there's just all sorts of different filter options, I'll say, with this Quick Select, okay? Okay, why? Why would I want to do this? Well, let's say, again, I want to quickly select all of my dimensions. So let's say all of a sudden I've copied over, I'm doing, let's say, an upper floor plan, okay? So let's say I'm doing an upper floor plan of this house, right? And I'm going to copy over just the outline of the existing walls, exterior walls, okay? And I'm going to do the upper floor plan. Let's say I'm at the dimension stage. I've already done the upper floor plan design, okay? And I want to save time with my dimensions. Okay, I want to save time. I want to select all of my dimensions and just copy them over and save time. Okay, well, now I'm going to show you Quick Select. All right, so for my specific Mac users out there, you have to right click. Okay, this is the only way for Mac users, Apple users, to get Quick Select, and there it is right there. Okay, so obviously PC can do it too because I'm on a PC, and so you can see vividly that PC users can also right click. But I want to start off here and say, this is only for Mac users as well, okay? For PC users as well, if you open up your properties box, so for me, for instance, I always have my properties box open. It is open permanently, always, always, always when I'm working. For my videos, I tend to close it just to make my screen bigger. But anyway, this little magic button, top right corner of your properties box, that is also Quick Select. Okay, so there are two different ways to get to this feature. Again, just for the PC Windows user. For my Mac users out there, Apple users, you're going to right click and you get Quick Select, okay? Or use your properties, okay? So I'm just going to close properties again, just that way, once again, I can get my screen nice and large here for the sake of the video, and I'm going to right click and choose Quick Select. All right, now, there it goes. It takes a little bit to load because I'm screen sharing and recording. It'll be a little bit quicker probably for you, but this is the Quick Select window, okay? This is the Quick Select window. You can make this a little bit larger if you want to help out your eyes, which is quite nice, okay? That's quite nice, all right? All right, so first we talked about dimensions. So I'm going to select my dimensions. Well, I can actually do that in one of two ways. I can do that based on its object, the fact that it is a dimension, or I have done everything on my layers, right? We've taught you very specifically to work with your layers. So all of my objects are sorted out by their layers specifically. So I could select the layer, dimensions. But before we get into that, let's go through each drop-down bar. So that way this fully makes sense to you, and this is a full video on what quick select is. All right. So first, apply to. Well, that means what is this quick select applying to? I could have 7 different floor plans, right? And like 8 different elevations and sections and details and, you know, who knows in this CAD file, right? So AutoCAD is strictly asking you here, what do you want this quick select to apply to, okay? So if you want it to do the entire drawing, that's quite easy. By default, it has the entire drawing selected. But if you wanted to make a very specific selection, which I do, you're going to use that little icon right there, okay? It brings you back to your model space, and you have a selection box. Well, I'm going to make the selection, and I only want this to apply to this plan. So I'm going to make my selection, and you got to press enter, right? You got to tell AutoCAD when you're done selecting. So I press enter, and now you'll see that drop-down bar has changed to current selection. And you'll see that on the left there, my current selection has been highlighted. It's quite user-friendly in this way. All right, next, object type. Well, you remember how I said I could select my dimensions by objects? All right, let's click on that drop-down bar. I have rotated dimensions here. Okay, let's try it out. I'm going to select rotated dimension. And now I've got properties. Well, I don't care about any of the properties. I just want to select my dimensions. So I'm going to ignore operator. I'm going to ignore the value. Yes, I want this to apply to include my new selection set. So this means it's going to apply it so you know how we have the entire floor plan selected right now? Once I press OK, this is saying, yes, I want you to make it this feature, my new selection, my new settings, this new settings that I selected, my new selection. So deselect everything else and just select this stuff, right? This is quick select, right? Or you can decide to do it the opposite, so to invert that, okay? So I'm going to click OK. Let's see what happens. Just like that, everybody, I have just my dimensions selected. It is that simple. So I'm going to do this multiple times in this video because I want to show you different ways on how to use this, but it is that quick and very cool. So I'm going to then simply go copy command, get a nice common base point, like the top right corner, right? And then I copy this all over with ortho straight, top right corner, paste, click, and escape to stop. And just like that, I have all my dimensions copied. And you're kind of like, okay, that's all cool, but you don't need all the interior stuff if you're going to do a different floor plan. Yeah, but it's so much quicker now to go in here and just delete the dimensions I don't need. That is so much quicker because everything else is selected for me and copied for me. Done. Okay, it's that simple, right? It's quite nice. And let's say I want to edit these. Okay, I select them, I drag, I drop, right? So it's more user friendly than having to sit back and go, okay, I want these ones, I want these ones. Oh, I didn't want that one. Crap. And then I've got to escape and do that all again, right? I don't know how to do that with quick select. It's quite awesome. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple more times, a couple more different ways. Okay, next I want to show you based on a layer. Okay, layers again are so lovely. I want to copy over just one layer, and I'm going to do my walls. I'm going to copy over the entire layer of my walls. This is a very common thing that I always need to copy over personally and nothing else. It's every time I do a roof plan. All I want to see are my walls. That's all I want to copy over. And by this point, I've got notes, dimensions, objects, you can name it, right? All over here. I don't want to copy everything else. This may be something for you. Now you're like, oh no, that doesn't happen for me with my walls, but I always want to copy over my windows, let's say, you know, or if you're in a totally different form of trade, there might be some object that you just always want to copy over, like a certain block, set of blocks, lots of blocks. That's an option. All right, so let's do this by layer. So again, right click, quick select, or go through your properties, but I'm going to do it the most common way, which is right click, quick select, so that way it's safe for both my PC and Apple users out there. Okay, now this time around, I am going to actually apply it to my entire drawing because this floor plan is actually my entire drawing, okay? But again, if you want to select a specific item, you use this icon and you draw your box around your items. Be sure that, again, if you were using a blue box, all items are inside the blue box. Green boxes just have to touch the item, okay? They just have to touch, okay? You press enter when you're done your selection, and it brings you back to your quick select dialog box, okay? So you either do a certain selection or, again, you have it applied to your entire drawing. For me, they're equal. It's the same thing in that example what I just showed. Okay, let's do it by layer. So if I want to select something based on layer, I do not want to go to the object drop-down bar. I want to ignore that because it's going to be multiple different objects, right? Like my walls. My walls are lines, they're polylines, they're arcs, they're rectangles, right? They're all sorts of different objects. So I want to go multiple here. Under properties this time, we ignored this last time. This time around, I want you to pick layer. Now, under operator, we ignore, we go to value, and we pick the layer we want. The value drop-down bar will change for you depending on what your properties are, what properties you select. The value will change for you in this drop-down bar. All right, so I will go into an example here. I'm going to all of a sudden click on line type. And now if I go to the value, all of the line types that I have only loaded into this file specifically are listed here for me. It is quite user-friendly. So we're going to go back to layer, and I said I want to copy over my walls. So I'm going to go to my walls layer. Yes, I want to include this into a new selection set. Okay. And just like that, all of my walls have been selected. I'm going to now, just for argument's sake, to show you, copy, ortho on, and just like that, all of my walls are highlighted, selected, and I can copy them, modify them, mirror them, rotate them, whatever I need to do with that. So now I can, for my example that I was using beforehand to explain this, I can now use this to build my roof plan off of, just like that. Rather than, can you imagine how long this would take if I had to select this wall by wall? Can you imagine? Crazy, right? So quick select just really is all about saving time. It's all about efficiency in AutoCAD. Quick select is. Okay. The next thing I want to show you now is how we can select multiple different objects. You know, we did the objects, right? We did the objects and we ignored the properties. Well, I want to do the objects now, but I want to do a different type of object, like hatching, let's say, for example. Okay. So again, I'm going to right click, quick select. Okay, once again, make sure that if you want this to apply to a very specific part of your drawing, you click on that icon, which I'm going to do here. I'm going to apply it just to this floor plan, not the one on the right, and I'm going to click enter. Okay, now if I wanted to select just my hatching, okay, just my hatching, I'm going to go under the object, and I'm going to choose hatch. I'm going to ignore all of that because I want to choose all of the hatch. But let's say I don't. I want to choose a very specific hatch pattern. I want to get specific here. But that hatch pattern has been applied in all sorts of different locations. And I, again, don't want to sit here selecting all sorts of different locations of this hatch. So I go under pattern name. And just like that, my values change to only the hatch patterns that have been applied in my current selection. It is fantastically specific. It is so wonderful. So let's say I specifically want my my ANSI 37 hatch. I click OK. And sure enough, that is a hatch I have in multiple locations, which is quite perfect. This is my load-bearing walls. And again, this is my example of I copied over my walls, but oops, I needed my load-bearing hatch as well because my load-bearing walls don't change from my main floor to my upper floor. They got to stay. They hold my roof above. So let's example. This is an example I'm using. So again, you may be using it on a totally different drawing. Try and apply this kind of theory to what you might be working on. Okay. So I've got my load-bearing wall hatch applied or selected. Sorry. I'm going to copy because I want to copy that over from this floor plan to the next. Common base point, top right corner. And I pan over, select this top right corner. And just like that, my load-bearing wall hatch has been reapplied to this floor plan. Just like that. 2 quick selects, and I've got the information I need. Now I can go in and go, okay, I don't need these interior walls. I don't need these interior walls. My fireplace will carry up. I don't need these interior walls. Let's design the upper floor plan. Just like that. All right, quite efficient. And once again, you might be doing a mechanical drawing or survey drawing, an elevation drawing. Try and think of this theory of how you can use this wonderful quick select feature on the drawing that you might be using drawing in. Again, clarify your selection. Use the object type if needed. That's based on, again, things like, check out what's in here. Look in the quick select to figure out what would be best for you. If you're doing doors, a block, let's say, then I would do my block reference. Okay? Then let's say I want to just choose my door blocks. Just my door blocks. I got all sorts of blocks in here. I just want to choose my door blocks. I'm going to go under name. And I'm going to click in my value. And sure enough, I have my blocks listed out there for me. I go by name. It's quite the easiest thing to pick with blocks to go by. You can try block unit as well, but I try name works the best. Sure enough, door, imperial, okay. Just like that, all of my doors are selected. Let's say they're on the wrong layer or something. That's a big thing here for quick select. Let's say you have an entire drawing you need to clean up and everything is on the wrong layers. Use quick select based on objects to your advantage because you can select lots of doors all at once, lots of blocks all at once, and you can put them on the correct layer. Polylines, same thing. Ellipses, same thing. Rectangles, same thing. It's quite vast what you can choose in terms of how you can get specific, I will say, with this quick select feature. All right, so please dig in here, look into what would be best for you to use. And I hope you find quick select useful. It is very, very handy, once again, for editing your layers, modifying all sorts of objects, needing to duplicate a drawing for all sorts of reasons. And I mean like duplicating drawings for the proper reasons, like multiple floor plans, multiple elevations options, those kinds of things. All right. Hope you find this useful, something in this tutorial. I'm going to upload this video in multiple locations just because it definitely applies to multiple of my folder locations. But I hope you found this useful, and please use it. It will save you time in the end, I promise. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. You take care. Ciao.